The guys are working hard. We watched film. We went to practice and worked on some things, some toughness things. I thought Rutgers out-toughed us a little bit, and that's a credit to Pikel. But we're learning, we're growing. I love the mindset of the team because they easily could have gone a different way, and they didn't. They haven't. They're in here getting extra shots. That's why I was a couple minutes late. I was in there looking. Guys are in there getting extra shots up, extra lifts, extra film session. And that's all them. It's not us. It's all them wanting to do this because we have group sessions. So I like where their heads are right now. I like where their belief is right now, and that's really the critical piece. And as long as we keep that and keep growing and keep getting better, we're going to put ourselves right back in that situation. And I fully believe that we're about to break through or get over this hump that is preventing us to find a victory.
Hi, Pat.
How's your knee, buddy?
It's good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah, you're welcome.
You obviously hear the noise out there. Do you hear the noise? Do you hear what people are talking about?
I have no idea.
Okay. Well, job security is one of those things that people have discussed at 0-9 at this point.
Yeah, sure.
Does it enter your frame of vision, and how do you go about maybe blocking it out? And is it something that you're actively concerned about?
I feel really good about where we are as a staff and what we're doing for this program. My expectations are high. I did not expect to be in this situation. We just have to keep getting better and keep growing, like I've said. But I feel supported by President and Sandy. I feel their commitment to what we're trying to do. I don't want to look back. I want to stay forward here. But no, I don't feel that way at all. And that's why I'm going to focus on my job and doing it the best of my ability and getting these kids and getting them better, developing them, and showing them how to handle adversity and how to handle challenges. Because really that's our job, developing men. Developing men. When you develop men, you get your degrees. Our GPA is very good, by the way. Very good. So you get your degrees. And then you'll start to see success on the floor. And I think with all that we've been put through, non-conference and now conference with another top 25 coming in, top 10 strength of schedule, all that good stuff, these experiences will only make us better, stronger, as we continue on our path. We got a lot of basketball to be played. You got 11 games. You got the Big Ten tournament. There's a lot to happen still. I really believe in this team, and I think they believe in us too.
And then maybe just to piggyback on it, have you seen the development that you want to see in terms of actual on-court performance through the course of the season?
Yeah, I said this the other night at Rutgers. I believe our younger guys are really getting better. They're doing some things that I really appreciate where they started and where they are today. Now, we've had some peaks and valleys. You've seen that. You've been with us. But as long as they have that great mindset of getting 1% better every day, then they're going to continue that process. And how we develop, we were top 10 development from that earlier graphic or chart. So, keep believing, keep buying in. You're going to continue to get better, and they are.
We don't have the access to Sandy or President Barron that we have to you. We get to talk to you quite often. I guess the question I would have for you is how much communication has there been during these difficult times between you and the AD and the president? Has that been something that's been ongoing communication, or how does that sort of work?
Sandy has been communicating with me regularly, which is great. So I feel her support. And the president texted me after Iowa, so I feel his support. They're not wavering. I'm not wavering. Full steam ahead.
And are there times where you could take a big picture look? You guys have the great run in the NIT last year, start off this season pretty well. And do you think about, man, maybe we're losing a little bit of an opportunity here to build off of that momentum, or can you not afford to do that in the course of a season when you're looking at every single game?
No, there's no question you have to do big picture. I'm dialed in on my team and what I need to do specifically in the game situations to get us over the hump. But I would look to our recruits and communicating with them on a regular basis and how positive and upbeat and optimistic that they have been. And they really look forward to contributing to our program. So I don't think we've really missed a beat from that 30,000-foot lens that you're talking about. Because as the leader, I have to think like that. on the specific days, specific times. And I think that's important every now and then to do that. But I feel good about the direction of the program.
And one last thing, you mentioned the end of game situations. Do you feel that you've done a good job? Because there's been some criticism. Whenever you're losing a bunch of tight games, people are going to say, well, the coaching staff, what are they doing late in games? And I don't know that I could point to one particular thing, but
Can you point to anything?
it's not my job to do that. I'm not saying
But you're
that. I'm
watching the
saying-
games. What would you say?
I would say sometimes that the execution on the floor isn't what it might need to be. And I think that could be a reflection of coaching. That would be my one criticism.
And then I would just say we need to get stops, and we need to get that offensive rebound. I think we've given up some offensive rebounds. I think we've gotten the right guys shots, and we need to continue to do that. And they need to feel comfortable in those situations. I thought Rod did a really good job the other day making a floater and creating opportunities for others. I thought he looked really good out there, especially towards the end. Lamar still has to get comfortable with that, being the finisher that we need him to be. And then we have to make some free throws. Can we clean up some things? Sure. I'm always going to look myself in the mirror after every game and see what could I do better? What can we as a staff do better? And, I think we're really close. A shot's got to go away, a bounce has got to go away, a dive's got to go away, our charge has got to go away, a shot clock violation's got to go our way. That's a tie-up of some sort. But I would say this too, Ben, we have to create our own luck. I thought Rutgers beat us to every 50-50 ball, almost every. John had a 20-second clip where he got offensive rebound, dive, Rasheer dived. That's what Penn State embodies. That's what we need to get back to.
You're a big community guy, and for as much as you're not paying attention to the noise, how do you combat apathy among the people that you need to help you?
I'm out there. I'm out there. So nobody's really patting me on the shoulder like, hey, you're walking the plank. Like, I don't feel that way. I don't feel that way at all. They know I'm an approachable guy. I have my routine. Dunkin' Donuts,
I guess
Fascia Luna, if you want to find me, that's where I hit. So I'm not hiding. Yeah, come see me.
See me in the street.
Please, those people on Twitter, come on.
I was not ready for that answer, but no, but I mean, you have worked really hard to get people to care about your program, and you've gone a lot of lengths to get people to care about your program. And then when you struggle, it must feel like you're taking certain steps back in that area. And as much as you have Sandy's support, as much as you might have Eric Barron's support, you need their support as well. How do you kind of win over people that are maybe going, it's been a lot of this. How do you get them back in a time like this?
Yeah, it's a tough question. Hopefully they believe in me because of the relationships that I've built with them over the years. We just did something very special last year. And I know that's within this program. I know that's within us as a staff and as players. So we got to continue to fight the good fight and keep working hard. And I'm still going to go out there. CVC's Thursday night. I'm still going to be out there for every event. I'm out there for Alzheimer's events and Thon events. That's what I do. That's what I'm a part of, and I'm going to continue to do that. I think the relationship aspect of this community and this program is really important to me, and hopefully they continue to support us.
Is that hard for you at all? I mean, the other end of that to be like, there are few people that know the amount of work that you guys have put in to get to this point, and sports are results based, so it's hard to argue with that necessarily, and where people might be unhappy. But to have put in essentially almost a decade's worth of work in, and then have people still be like,
yeah, we have short-term memory sometimes. We still have brought in some great players. I think 7 out of 10 of the highest recruited players here. We've done some really good things. We really have. The branding in the concourse, the in-game change of our games have become more exciting. Branding in there. Branding outside the building, the training table, the film room, and I'm working very hard, which a lot of people probably don't know, to help raise money for locker room, training room, and new weight room. And I know all this will help.
Going back to the late game situations, how much can you devote in practice to working on that, and how much of it is just you have to do it in a real live situation? How much can you replicate those late game situations? Because that obviously seems to be You're in every game, but that's the Achilles heel right now.
Yeah, and it's unfortunate because we all magnify the last 4 minutes, and we don't magnify like end of the half. We give up a rebound, they lay it in. Well, that could have cost us the game as well. Today, I will work on end of game situations for almost 45 minutes, 4 minute, 4 minute, 4 minute, 4 minute, continuous, and we'll mix it up. And what I have is kind of fun and unique, and I'll share this with you guys. We have the managers scream and yell into our huddles, and we have music blaring into our huddles. So they have to stay completely focused, give me their undivided attention so they know exactly what we're doing on the board. It's a little bit different, a little bit quirky, a little bit unique, but I think it's going to help us overall so they stay dialed in on the task at hand, because you're giving them, if a team plays multiple defenses, you have to give them 2 plays, but Purdue only plays man, so that's a good thing, so we only have to give them 1, but then you have to give them defenses, and we might have different coverages and ball screen and post. So they really have to dial in. But we're going to work on that today really hard. And we did it last week, and we've done it the week before. So it's something that we're constantly working on, and to put them in that position, that visualization.
Pat, going back to 2012, I think you're probably the most positive coach I've ever encountered, even compared to James over at the Lash Building, which is saying something. But
Is he
this
negative?
Oh, he's saying he's really positive.
Oh, he's positive too. Yeah.
yeah. This losing streak though in the Big Ten so far, the 7 games, how does that challenge that belief, that kind of attitude that you kind of possess?
You know what? I don't think, we all look at the 0-9. I don't think it's a reflection of how hard we've played and how well we've competed for long stretches in some of these games. Our strength of schedules is top 10. We've put these guys through the gauntlet for good or bad. Right? On the outside, it looks bad. But on the inside, I say it's good because we're going to get so many great experiences from this. And we're going to keep learning from this. So I think if you look at it that way, we're going to keep working at it. We're going to keep showing up.
Pat, from the outside looking in, even with the losing, it doesn't seem like I'm seeing heads down or shoulder shrugs. But at the same time, there's a human element to it, and I'm sure these kids are not used to losing like this. So how do you kind of prevent this from turning into something worse than it is in the locker room?
True characters revealed during losses, really adversity and challenge. So we're going to learn a lot about ourselves, and it's something I talk about. I said this after the game, after Rutgers. We're athletes. We're in the world of sports. Really, life is a sport. It's winning or losing. And if you accept losing, then you shouldn't be playing sports. And all my guys love to play basketball. I've said it. They're in here constantly. So this is going to flip. It's just a matter of when and how.
I think through all the years that I've known you, you're a momentum guy, right? That's something you believe in.
Nothing wrong with a little mojo.
Is that right?
Maybe.
So I guess in that sense, how much do you feel like you mentioned a flipped shot clock violation, a flipped offensive rebound. How much do you feel like that actually coming to fruition would change or benefit you guys?
You know what? I'll go back to Virginia Tech. There was a couple balls that bounced our way, a couple rebounds that landed in our lap, a big steal at half court. You probably don't remember that, but I do, because it was a monster play, because we had just missed a free throw. So if we can get one of those situations, a rebound, a loose ball, a charge, a good bounce on the offensive end, a made shot, Ra ends up making a 3 right around just under the 2-minute mark of the Virginia Tech game. We don't score again, 63-60. But we got stops and we got rebounds. We made the right plays. So I believe that it's going to bounce our way shortly here, because these kids have worked too hard. These players have worked way too hard for it not to bounce our way.
I'm sticking with the late game situations. You've had some close games with Purdue in the past 2 years, at home 2 years ago, and last year on the road that neither have gone your way. How do you, I mean, obviously the Purdue team has changed and you've changed as well. How do you, the players like Lamar and Josh and Mike who have been through those 2 late game situations, how much does that help you if you're in one of those late game situations again against a talented Purdue team?
Yeah, well, it's really this year, but I can definitely draw upon those experiences and say, hey, we've been here before. We've been here before. I just had Josh in for 30, I had Lamar in for 30, and we talked about it. And we both played Virginia Tech. They lost to Virginia Tech. We beat Virginia Tech. So I can talk about that. That's a positive. And we've competed against Purdue on the road at their place with a chance to win. I think we missed a free throw. So 2 years ago, it was overtime, and Klein gets 2 corner threes. So we can learn from those situations, talk about them, but know that we can compete with these teams in the Big Ten, not just Purdue.
How much of an opportunity is it for, when you're playing Purdue, coming off an emotional win against Michigan State, how much of an opportunity is it for you guys to maybe catch them in a vulnerable spot, or is that just a little bit overblown?
No, I think it's overblown. Matt Painter's a great coach. He does a great job. Purdue plays one way. All my years in this league, they're one of the toughest, most physical teams we'll play, and that still holds true today.
How do you combat mental things that are fundamental? Because people go, oh, they're missing free throws, they must not practice it. And you want to smack those people and go, like, I'm sure they're looking at this thing they're not very good at and not practicing it. How do you...
We practice free throws more than anybody in the country. Ask Jimmy Ferry. He's like, I've never shot more free throws when I was a head coach. And that's not just because we're missing them. That's what I've always done. It's what we did at Villanova. It's what we did at BU. And that's what we're doing here. We've always done it. But again, it's putting yourself in the situation and gaining some confidence in those experiences. I was really proud of John. John went 3 for 4. That was fantastic. He needs to continue to do that. Whoever gets there has got to. Mike needs to shoot better free throws. Lamar needs to shoot better free throws, although he's shooting better than he ever has, but he still needs to shoot better in the last couple minutes of the game. And he will, because you know what? He works on it. He gets in here. And I make sure he knows that we have the confidence in him to do it. How's that?
That was good.
Does that tell your people? All right, thanks.
You've talked a lot about the Leadership Council and those guys kind of helping to weather the storm. How have they done with that over the past month or so, especially with all the younger guys on the team?
I think they're doing a really good job. They're meeting with the younger guys, the sophomore and freshmen, because I don't want to just single out the freshmen, but they're having their own team meetings. They're having their own, one-on-one building relationships type get-togethers, which I think is fantastic. They need to keep doing that, and Josh needs to keep sharing his experiences over his last 3.5 years, and Lamar needs to share his experiences. And as long as we keep doing that, these guys will have a better understanding what it takes to win in the Big Ten.
Specifically with talking about Carson Edwards, what have you seen from him on film this year that maybe, obviously he came on strong at the end of last season, but this season he's the go-to guy. What have you seen from him as far as taking over that go-to scorer role, and how talented of a scorer is he compared to the guys you've seen so far here in the Big Ten in your tenure?
He's almost unguardable. It's really tough to guard him because he is making threes. And he's taking a lot of threes, and he can also get to the basket. I think what Matt has done a really good job is getting Carson to understand he's got to share the ball a little bit more, and he's done that. He's done a better job of that, let's just put it that way, of not just taking it all on himself, trusting Ryan Klein and trusting his other teammates, and he's doing that. And I think that's why he's having a big-time year, and I think that's why they're winning now. I think in the beginning they've lost to Texas, Florida State, Virginia Tech, and another, maybe Notre Dame in there. And I think that's when they were just trying to figure it out. And I think Carson has really bought into what Coach Painter wants. So he's doing a little bit of everything. Now, he's taken 70 more shots than the next closest guy. But of recently, I think that's why they're playing so well and on this great winning streak.